Okay, we're a big believer at Manor Park Classics at matching people with the right cars for them. If you don't enjoy driving it, doesn't matter how nice you think it looks, you're not going to enjoy owning it, and that's the important bit. So we took Theresa in the office into really different cars. There's one that she thinks she'll like based on looks, and one that she's a bit near about based on looks, and I'm really interested because I think it's going to be the other way around. I think she's going to enjoy the one that she isn't expecting to enjoy a lot more than the one that she thinks she wants. So Theresa, you love the Moggy.
I love the look
Never
of
driven
it.
one before.
No, love it.
Okay, but you love the look of the Moggy, and you could picture yourself in one, you could picture yourself owning one, and you would maybe
nice, enjoy it.
maybe have a think of it. And then we've got the little Polo Match over here, 1993, 1 litre Polo Match. Now this is a 33,000 mile car, one owner, so I love this. This is well, they're both right up my street, but I think this is really interesting. But this hasn't really turned your head, has it?
Looks wise, no.
No, in the office. So I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm going to ask you to drive them both. Roger's going to take you out in the Moggy, I'm going to take you out in the Polo.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if Roger's right or I'm right about the Moggy. So, Roger thinks you're going to love the Moggy. I'm going to be honest, I think you hate driving that car, I really do.
Looks wise, I do think it's a gorgeous thing. But,
they're beautiful, they really are. You've never driven one before though, and I'm a big believer in matching people up with cars that they enjoy driving, enjoy using, and I think you're going to quite like this. Now, I know it hasn't caught your eye.
Cosmetically, no.
Cosmetically, and it's not necessarily a nostalgia thing, right?
No.
So this is going to feel really familiar to you. Pedals are where they should be. Gearbox is what you're expecting, and it's going to be a lot smoother and a lot easier to. You're not going to be fishing around for gears in this. So I love a Moggy. I've had them.
Yeah.
Still do, but they're not for everybody from the off. Right, ready?
Yeah, let's go.
So we're going to whiz up the road.
Yeah.
While we're here, obviously worth mentioning that this car is in the online auction at the moment, finishes on Sunday the 6th of February. Guided in an incredible £3,000 to £4,000. So
see, that is a good price.
Yeah, 33,000 miles. Now these are modern classics and emerging classics, or whatever you want to call them. But nevertheless, they are really gaining in popularity. Cars and coffee culture is not going anywhere. If anything, it seems to be getting more popular. And these cars are brilliant. You can get in them and just drive a couple of 100 miles, go to car shows.
The thing is, I almost don't class them as classics because they're what I started driving when I was.
Yeah, I was going to say these are cars that me and my friends had. Back in the day.
I think something a lot older as being an actual classic.
You think about.
But the far off a lot of them, I'd like to admit.
So this is 1993. So what we're looking at here, 1993, 2003, 2013. So this is not far off 20 years old. And don't forget when we were driving these, the equivalent of a car 20 years old then was an early 70s car, which when we were young did feel like a classic car.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's all sort of relative. So we're just going to warm it up gently.
And this is just, everything's in the place where you're
everything's in the right place.
Everything's just as you used to.
Stereo. I mean, there's a few things, You're on cassette, so you've got your pencil for when you cassette.
Yeah, I'm
cassette player
eats
your music.
Cassette, yeah.
Right. So, talk to me, Goose. How's it feeling?
Perfect.
Do you feel relaxed?
I'm calm. My stress levels. No, it feels all right.
How's your heart rate? How's your anxiety? It feels familiar, doesn't it? Yeah,
and
you've
that's a big thing.
But it's even things like if you want a bit of heating, you instantly recognise the controls.
Yeah.
Windscreen wipers, indicators, they're all exactly where you're expecting them to be. If you need,
which sounds silly, but it's
not. If you were out in the Morris Minor and it started to go dark, you wouldn't have had to turn your headlights on.
Oh, not a clue.
Whereas in this, you're looking around, you think, oh, okay, there's there's the picture of a bulb. Yeah, you can. It's familiar. So I have a real thing, especially being a dealer, where people quite often phone up and they've almost set the heart on a car, and you really have to sort of say, look, please come and drive it. This might not be, especially if a car isn't particularly easy to drive, or I know it won't feel familiar to them. That the whole point of having a classic car, be it modern or pre-war, is that you actually enjoy driving it and using it. The ownership bit is why you buy it in the first place. I've done it myself. I've wanted a car for years. I've gone and bought myself one, and within 20 miles, I've already mentally re-advertised it. And then there's cars that I've never looked twice at, and I jump in it to move it or pick it up or whatever, and absolutely fall in love with it just because of the driving
experience. In a heartbeat, I could get in this, drive it anywhere.
You'd drive home tonight, wouldn't you?
Yeah, wouldn't even question.
Right, interesting whether or not you would feel like you would want to drive home from work in the Moggy tonight.
We'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So far, thumbs up.
Thumbs up for me.
The
Yeah.
VW Polo and Team Sam.
Right, here we go.
Okay. You first.
Right, me first. Hey, look, that's got got a load of fuel in it as well.
Yeah,
That's all right. Right, 1969 Morris Minor, 2-door.
Right.
Oh, look at that, 10. Right.
Sell it to me.
Started a tree, that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Right, let's wind this window up a bit, King Billy. Right. Very, very popular family car, this. Staple diet of families for years and years and years. Right, so are we all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So away we go. Yeah, produced in great numbers from 1948 to 1971. Oh, great.
It's in there. Go on,
Finally
go for it.
Yeah. 1948 to 71.
Oh, right, okay.
So a long 23 years production run.
Right.
A lot of changes in that time over the production run, and they produced them in different body styles. You can get this one, which is a 2-door.
I like this.
2-door. Yeah, 4-door saloon. You can get what's called a traveller, which is like in a 2-door estate car with wood on the sides.
Yeah, I know.
You've seen one of those.
Yeah.
And you can get a convertible, 2-door convertible,
Oh.
which is a nice thing, yeah.
Cool. Nice.
And you can also get a van and a pickup truck.
Something for everyone.
Something for
in that
everyone with a
range.
Morris Minor.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's say they
There's a
produce.
Minor for everyone.
There is indeed, from 1948 to 1971. There were a couple that were made a bit after that, registered a bit after that, but that's when production ceased in the main.
Yeah.
So very popular with the RAF. Used to have a lot of them as well.
Did they?
Yeah,
Very cool.
it just seemed to be a good solid car that they used to use for staff cars and stuff like that. So
Reliable.
very reliable. Yeah, dead easy to look after and repair. And,
Don't say they're easy to drive because I've not driven it yet.
oh right, yeah, dead easy to. Well, I think it's easy to drive.
Yeah, well,
with your judgment. Away you go.
It's not persuading itself, is it, when you were driving it, to be honest.
At least you got it into 3rd gear without crunching it. Better than I did.
I'm gentler, I'm just, you know, I'm easing it in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. Because I find that works. You've got to work with your material.
You have. You'll be gentle with them, these old cars.
Yeah.
Drive them sympathetically.
It seems so much to remember. It's nice.
What, changing gear?
Yeah, changing gear.
That's a lot to remember.
Pedaling.
That. Yeah. Pedaling?
That's what I like to refer to it as. Not meddling, pedaling. Yeah. I'm going to look to try
Yeah,
and
you're
change.
only 4 gears.
Yeah.
Most stuff did have 4 gears. In fact, you know, interesting, really boring fact for you. Most of the British cars had 4 gears up until I think it was 1969 or 70
Yeah.
with the Austin Maxi had a 5-speed gearbox. There you go.
Also,
Yeah. More interesting information for you.
you are just a wealth.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day.
Yeah. So come on then. So what's your thoughts? Do you like the drive of it? Need a bit of practice.
I like it. I need a bit of practice at it.
Yeah.
It's a nice car.
Yeah.
I'd like another go at it, I think.
Would you? What now?
No.
Another day. Right. Another day it is.
Right, Theresa.
Yeah.
We had 2 cars in auction coming
Uh-huh.
up this month, next month. The Morris Minor and the Polo Coupe. Now, you love the Morris Minor, although you've never driven one.
No, love it.
And this did nothing for you.
No.
Again, you've never driven one.
Mhm.
So, I love the Morris Minor. Roger, you love the Morris Minor. We both love driving these. You've got one. We're big fans. But we know them and we're used to them. So, we assume that everybody else will feel the same way.
I did.
So, I suspected that Theresa wouldn't enjoy driving the Morris Minor so much because I think she's more comfy in a more modern car with a more familiar driving feel. So, Theresa, you've got Roger, who thought you'd like the Morris Minor,
Yeah.
and you've got me, who thought you'd like the Polo.
Yeah.
So, Team Roger or Team Sam, which car are you taking home?
Team girl, Team Sam.
Right.
Yeah,
Tell us why. Tell us why.
It was all very familiar, really comfortable, loved driving it, drove exactly how I expected it to drive. That was a complete shock, to be honest with you.
Was it really?
Yeah, really. It just felt so different. Cosmetically, it's beautiful, but just not for
I
me.
think the engineering from this, Roger, is from when essentially when they fought it, isn't it? Really, yeah. So there's a huge leap. Now, I particularly like cars that maybe I forget are harder to drive
Yeah.
because I enjoy driving them like you do, Roger.
Yeah.
But you know, we have to appreciate that people are coming into the classic car market who want different things out of the cars than we do, and it's about matching up with the right car. At the end of the day, if you're going to have a classic, be it modern or pre-war, the key is to enjoy driving it.
So it's about the usage.
It really is. It's the ownership. It's the ownership.
Driving it, you're not going to use it.
I'm sure in time I could have got used to it, but
But that's not a hobby.
No.
Forcing yourself to practice
like
until you get used to it. So I guess
Sprouts, innit?
the moral
I
of the story is don't assume that you want a car just because of the way it looks.
Yeah.
Find out a little bit more about them. Come down, have a look, get the chance to sit in it.
Yeah.
Get a feel for what it would be like to own it, and the whole sort of experience of driving it and using it. So Theresa, if you had to go home from work tonight, I bet you'd have no qualms
Wouldn't
about
even
driving that
question
home. Would you want to drive that home from
No.
work tonight? No, okay. But you would, wouldn't you?
I would.
And I would. So horses for courses, there we go.